Let's get this show on the road. Will you all please stand with me and recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. All right. First thing will be the roll call. Alderman Smith. Alderman Quinn.
Here.
Alderman Snyder.
Present.
Alderman Saunders.
Present.
Alderman O'Brien.
Present.
Alderman Osborne.
Present.
The city attorney will not be here tonight, and Greg did notify us that he would not be here in attendance tonight. We have a quorum, so we'll move forward. Next thing on the agenda will be to review and approve the minutes of the May 7th, 2026 Board of Aldermen meeting under tab 4.
I make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from May 7th.
We have a motion on the floor to approve the meeting minutes from the May 7th, 2026 meeting of the Board of Aldermen. We have a second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on the floor to approve the minutes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. The ayes have it, the motion carries. Next thing on the report will be the mayor's report. I have very little report tonight. I've been working on the Section 50C, 504, and ADA compliance requirements for the CDBG grant, and it is very, very intensive. And I hope to have that done tomorrow or at the latest Monday. In addition to that, I don't think George is going to be here tonight. We did have a discussion today with Missouri Department of Natural Resources. We're working with them on a issue that we have. It's called an enforcement issue, and what it is a culmination of from 2019 till now of reporting on the disinfectant byproducts. Most of you are aware that we've changed the methodology for treatment to match the same treatment methods used by Clarence County whole flow water, which is chlorine dioxide and chlorination. And so we're almost finished with that. Just a couple more things we have to finish up. We've got, I hope, the last of the required engineering permits from the Department of Natural Resources today. So we continue to move forward to address these issues that apparently have been historic to some extent, long lasting. We hope to put them to an end very soon. That completes my report. The next thing will be the city attorney's report. He's not here. I'm sorry, city clerk report.
I don't have much other than what I've had in the packet for you. The mayor has been looking at options regarding web page management, so we might have more information on that at the next meeting. I did include the April bank statement for you all to review. Of course, it doesn't include any of the checks because, of course, that has the city's account information on it. But if there's any checks you would like to see or review, let me know and I'll send those over to you.
Excellent. Is that it? Okay. Moving right along. We'll start out with authorized guest speakers. We have with tonight Dennis Klusemar from MPUA. This is to address the gas rate review. Welcome, Dennis. Welcome, Dennis.
I appreciate it, ladies and gentlemen. It's good to be here again. Familiar faces, a few new ones. Kevin, welcome aboard.
Yeah, thank you.
The reason for me being here, the mayor had asked me to come down and pretty much go through a review on utility costs, utility rates. So this is everybody's favorite topic. It's the topic of utility rates. Basically what our intention is, and Ronnie's mission right now, is to get to a point where we can cash flow, basically break-even position. I'm sure you are all aware of your budget position and the amount of transfers that y'all are staring at this year in all departments, not only in the gas, but also in the water and sewer. So we're going to try to remedy that in the least painful manner as we can to get you all back in a break-even position operationally, and then proceed from there on looking at different ways to kind of restructure the operation and the finance of the departments. But you all have in front of you all, this is a summary of the information that we put together so far for the gas department. And I've looked at this two different directions. You can see the first line up there. I looked at it from an audit perspective. You all completed your fiscal audit for 2025. And if you look at it as it pertains to the audit showed revenues of I'm going to round some numbers here for you. 872, expenditures a little over $1 million. So you had an operating deficit of roughly 147,000 last year. Now looking at this from a budget approach, which that's the approach we're going to take, trying to cash flow your operating budget. Y'all are projecting revenues this year of slightly less than your audit of about 862,000. The expenditures of 1.1 million, a little bit higher than your audit. The reason that jumped out at me is the CapEx. You'll have some capital expenditures shown in your budget that you need to get done this year, so we're going to show that. But that creates a difference this year, a deficit of $289,000. So what we're looking at is in your all's rate structure, you all got a very, very low meter charge in your gas department. I call it about a 25-year-old rate. That's about how long it's been since I've seen a rate structure of that range for a meter charge. But you all currently got a meter charge of $7.50, which is very, very cheap, especially in today's market. So that first section there, basically what we did is we just took a snapshot, a brief synopsis of your all system. And basically you all got 55 miles of gas system. That includes your cross-country line, your distribution here in town. So what I've done is I basically just put a $50 per foot value to that. It's a little bit low, a little bit conservative, because the cross-country pipe being in there. If we were actually going to get up to actual cost of that cross-country pipe, you're $1 million plus per mile on that cross-country pipe in today's market. So I'm not including those costs in this analysis. So at 50 cents a foot, that basically gives you an asset value of $14,500,000. Standard average life of that gas system is 80 years, so that you would have to generate $181,500 or $15,000 per month, $12.98 per customer per month, just to cover the distribution cost of your system. The second issue is just I threw in your services. You've got 1,165 services documented at $1,000 a piece is $1.1 million. Same logic is applied. It's a 20-year life basically on meter service. Gives you $58,000 a year, $4,800 a month. Cost per customer is $4.17. The equipment cost, this is right off of your all's equipment listing that I was provided. You've got equipment allocated to the gas department right now, a total of $525,000. We're going to totally depreciate that over a 20-year period, and that breaks down to $26,000 a year, $2,100 a month, or $1.88 per customer per month. So it gives you a grand total we're looking at from that perspective, $19.03 is where your base service availability charge, meter charge, facility charge, or whatever term you all want to use, should approximately be to cover the girl's asset value of the system today. So looking at this next column down where it says budget approach, your projected revenue of $862, we're looking at the deficit of $289,000. So under your current structure, y'all are roughly charging 14 cents per CCF per cubic 100 feet of natural gas. What this is showing us, this analysis is showing us, you actually need to be up around 262, 26 cents per CCF. If you go down to that very bottom left-hand corner, that's where I've got that number. And So 26.2 cents per CCF, which is a little bit of increase from what you're currently seeing, but it's not out of line, I don't think, by any means. If you'll look at your current gas rate, Danette, do you remember what your last month's rate was for billing? Your earlier rate sheet that I looked at, you're in the mid $6 range, or 66 cents per CCF. And if I run an example, I should have given you all that example sheet. If I run an example on today's market, we're roughly in a $2.50 market today. In the gas world, it costs you all roughly $1.50 for delivery charges on your gas. So if you were buying at $2.50, it costs you $1.50 to get to deliver to town, you're going to have an all-in delivered cost of around $4. Does that make sense to everybody so far? So if you take this in a decatherm, it's easier for me to do the math in decatherms. But if you're delivered at $4 and you're basically, your margins are $2.62, you're at $5.67, let me get my math right. $6.62 would be your gas rate at $4 delivered. So that's comparable to what you're seeing today, even on the new structure. The biggest change here is in your base charge or that meter charge. It would basically be an $11.25 adder, $11.15 adder to that $7.50 facility charge. So if we can get that established, and this is your all's decision, I'm just throwing out information right now. But if you all established at that rate, you can see in the bottom right over there, you would actually cash flow the budget, and right now it shows a surplus of $74. So we basically cash flow the budget, including your CapEx expenditures, which are in there roughly $150,000 right now in CapEx expenditures. So you would cash flow the budget.
Would you repeat that again about the $74?
The what part?
That was $74.
$74.51. Would you please say that louder?
If you would install it just the way we presented it, you will cash flow your budget by $74.
We're talking about $1 million, $1.2 million budget, and we're going to end up at $74.
Right.
So, see, we're not doing anything outrageous. Okay, we're going to make $74.
This is a break-even scenario.
We can buy pizza one time for the hardware glass department.
Yeah. So that is the break-even scenario. And here in the near future, I mean, this is for you all to digest and decide how you want to implement this or what you want to do with it. But this is the information we've found so far. We will be back in the near future, hopefully in the next few weeks, to throw some more information out to you on the water and wastewater. It's not, my preliminary findings so far, Mr. Mayor, is not as severe as what I was expecting. You're showing roughly $180,000 deficit this year. In
each.
Right, in your water and wastewater.
So that's $360,000 down the pipes.
Right.
That we can't recover, and there's no place to replace it from, and no one to get it from.
Right.
Until we change the rates.
So we're going to take the same approach on both of those departments too, and see if we can get back to a cash flow basis. Because, and I'm going to throw this out, and I know you all look at your numbers all the time. But if you all look at your all's budget, the way you got your transfer set up to offset that deficit, this is pretty much your last year to have that ability. Because after this year, if your operating budgets are true and they become a reality, you're going to be out of cash in the bank to make that transfer. So we're kind of in the 22nd, 23rd hour of this issue. But that's the information. I appreciate your time. Mr. Mayor, if you need anything else out of me, I'll stand here as long as you want me to. If not, I know some people want to get out of here.
What?
No names mentioned, but
She really didn't mean that. She didn't mean it. Really, she didn't. But I think one of the things that everybody on this board is aware of, we talked about this being the last year. Because we all knew what the numbers indicated, and what's really interesting about this is 2024 and 2025 are not the only years that suffered significant losses. There's
Sure.
several years before suffered significant losses, which is why the city of Monroe no longer has any reserves whatsoever.
And I'm gonna throw this out, Mr. Mayor, stop me if you think I'm offline, but going back through the information and the data, I'm specifically gonna go to the wastewater right now, because you've got significant debt in the wastewater department because of the new wastewater treatment plant. But there was errors made years and years ago, I'm not gonna call them errors, oversights, that when that financing was put into place, there's criteria that you should have been following, basically with the USDA. And what that does is basically it sets up minimums that you'll basically have to retain for that debt service retention. And I asked the question earlier, if you had the engineer's report, along with the estimated cost of that plant, because the engineers usually provide you a rate structure to support the debt. Well, the rate structure was found, and it was recommended to set your rate at $30 to cover the debt service on the new plant. At the time, the rate was set in its entirety at $30. So for the last 5 years of debt service, you all are just barely covering your debt service margins. You're not collecting anything for capital improvement or.
It should have been $30 on top of the
$30
existing
plus
facility charge,
whatever
not
exists.
$30 total.
So it's a little bit of.
What is that debt service about?
Misunderstanding.
It's about $600,000 per year.
Yes.
Very close. $600,000 per year. A town that has 1,168 utility subscribers. Somebody didn't do their math.
So, but we're gonna address that, and I think there's ways we can,
Well, we're going to address it. It's not going to be a lot of fun.
I think we can look at some different ways to readjust some things, take a different approach, and make it as painless as possible.
Well, I
But
think we need
we
to.
are in a position, we can say that, and we're not too late by any means. But it's gonna take some understanding and some legwork. So,
Well,
Mr. Mayor, I will be quiet.
we're going to be talking gas rates for Monroe City Utilities. We'll get to the new business. If you want to stick around, you can. If you have someplace you need to go,
If you would like for me to stick around for that
I think
discussion,
it'd be a good idea.
I will, in case there's questions.
Yes, please,
Okay,
if you can.
all right. I
If
will
you
sit
can.
down. I will sit down.
All right. For those of you who haven't had the opportunity to work with Dennis, he's very good at what he does. He brings a lot of outside resources from MQA, and when we do these things, it provides a great amount of assistance to us that we would otherwise, correct me if I'm wrong, Danette, we would otherwise have to hire an engineering firm and pay them $30,000 or $40,000 each time we do this. So it's a big plus, it's a big benefit to us. And he has a whole team of people who were here a few weeks ago to start looking at water and sewer rates. So that's just kind of information. So next thing we have, moving right along, will be authorized guest speaker Mary Kendrick.
Mine's a little easier
Oh.
to understand. Thank you guys for allowing me to come and ask. I am asking, requesting for you guys to allow us to block off the first block of First Street for the First and Main in the hall section, basically only for a wedding reception. And it's going to be held Saturday, June 13th. And we're thinking from noon to midnight, but we can tear it down, obviously, so when we're finished with the reception. That's my request.
This is right outside of the Henderson Hall.
Yeah, just that first half of the block, actually. It doesn't go all the way back to the parking lot. We want that parking lot to remain open, so it's
I make
just
a
for the
motion to
building.
block off First Street for the wedding.
We have a motion on the floor to approve blocking off the first block of First Street for the wedding on June 13th from noon to midnight. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion second on the floor to approve blocking off the first block of First Street, because I got it right, on June 13th, which is a Saturday from noon to midnight. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion carries. You got your approval.
All right. Thank you very much.
Captain, you see any issues with
Mine was
this?
much easier.
We'll try.
Guess I should have asked earlier. Rodney, problem? All right.
We've done
Good
it many
enough.
times.
I know. All right. Golly gee, here we go again. New business, a gas rate for Monroe City utilities. Is there anything in the book? This is going to be a verbal?
Yeah.
Okay, let me tell you a couple of things we found out when we were doing the rate review. Oh boy, oh boy. The natural gas rate was supposed to be, I'm going to qualify that, was supposed to be based on a 4-month average. Is that correct in that? 4-month average of most recent 4 months. What we found, the net did in reviewing the math in the spreadsheet, it's a 12-month average. In February, we lost $68,000 because of the difference between what we charged and what we paid. So it takes 12 months, and I'm not even sure in 12 months you'll ever get it back. It depends on whether all the numbers go down or all the numbers go up or where they go. So doing a 12-month average don't work. It don't work here, it doesn't work anywhere else, and why we're doing it, I don't know. But we want to put a different plan in place. And so what we would do is we would charge, we get at the end of the month the estimated all-in price for natural gas. And I may screw this up if I do, jump in and correct me, but we will be using that number, that all-in number, to set the rates for the next billing cycle, okay? And so you'd have the all-in rate for your number. And like many other communities, we're going to have one gas rate. We're not going to have a residential, a commercial, an industrial. We have one gas rate. The gas cost is the same no matter where it goes, who we sell it to. And now, that doesn't mean that if down the road some business comes in and say, I'm going to use a trillion CCFs or DTFs a year, I want a rate cut. Well, when you look at volumes, large volumes, then the board could decide if they want to do something as an incentive on a case-by-case basis if we're looking at economic development in the future. So we'd have an all-in rate, and so we were looking at taking the rate, adding the 0.262 per CCF. That would be your margin. The base rate would go up to $18.65, and then we're going to do something a little bit different. And I'm not sure I'm going to be the right person to explain this. It may take Danette or Dennis to explain this, but we would do a reconciliation each month. So if you paid more than you should have paid the previous month based on the actual charge versus the expected all-in rate, if you paid more, you get a credit. If you paid less, you have to make up the difference. That's the only fair way to do this for everybody.
It'll be a variance.
It'd be a variance. And so, yeah, you could see, like if it was $6 was the all-in rate at the end of the month, and we charged $8.92 per DTF, and it was, it actually come in at 5, so you get a credit.
Will our system handle that?
Oh, sure.
That's what I was
Yeah.
gonna say.
It
How much
will.
headache is that?
I mean, it's all a timing issue too, on when we would get the actual gas rate versus when we bill. So it would play a factor in that next month's billing when that variance would come into play.
Basically, what we're asking for is basically it's an energy cost adjustment. That's what it is. The 262 is going to be a fixed cost for your O&M costs, and it'll just fluctuate on the cost of the price of delivered gas. Now, what we're doing with talking about on basically the reconciliation or the correction, we can send out as close to end of month pricing as we can get to Danette from MPUA to get that all in delivered cost, and that's what Danette will set the rate on, is that estimated price. Now, there's going to be a little bit of variance between true end of the month and when you all bill and when we read. There's some variances there for the last few days of the month. That'll probably be what she's trying to correct off of. So what it ends up being, and I'm going to use some very simple math because that's how my mind works, is very, very simple. But let's just say for some reason Danette runs her totals for last month's billing and she comes up $1,000 short. Based on the gas price. And she's getting ready the next month, she's getting ready to bill out 10,000 units for the next month. she's got to make up $1,000. So you see where I'm going now. So if you take $1,000 and it's divided by your 10,000 units going out, that's your correction. So it's really in a simple process. It's going to take them a little time to get used to and get adjusted to that. But it's in theory, it's a very simple process. But what y'all been doing in the past, using the 12-month average, I mean, there's pros and cons to this, and I want to make sure that you'll understand. Because doing the 12-month average, what it does is stabilize costs for your customers. But just like Ronnie stated, in the natural gas market, natural gas is probably the hardest thing to build a rate structure for because of the volatility in the market. What Ronnie was referring to was the winter storm Fern we had this last January. We had gas spikes during that storm event of around $25 per decatherm. What the blended cost ended up being on the net's bill for February was a $10.50 number. So you were billing at $6.60, but you were paying $10.60, $10.50 for your gas. So that's what Ronnie alluded to. You actually lost about $68,000 that month. By going to something of this scenario, you will actually set your gas costs on delivered price for the month that gas was consumed in. So it becomes very fair for the customers. If you have a customer during one of those winter storms during a price spike that says, I'm cold, it's 15 below outside, I'm going to crank my thermostat to 80 degrees, they're going to pay for the consumption they used at the market price they consume. But in the existing scenario, if you took that high market and blended that price, that customer that cranked his thermostat to 80 degrees is still going to pay $6.60. Where the couple down the street may be very, very conservative. They crank their thermostat down to 65 degrees during that event. Guess what? They get to pay the same amount for the decatherms burnt because of this 12-month average. So if it's based on actual cost of delivery, it's fair for the customer because you're paying for what you consume at the market price delivered. So you don't have to blend and share those costs with somebody else down the street. You pay your fair share. So,
Did you bring your sheet with you? I have it downstairs, but we were talking about the cost of natural gas.
the comparison?
The comparison of natural gas versus propane versus electric. And what it's based upon is based upon a thermal coefficient. It's very interesting information to have. If I was building a new home and I had this information, I know exactly what I would have. I would heat with fire and I would light with wire. That'd be it. That come from him, by the way. I didn't make that up.
No, it makes sense.
It's very interesting piece of information right here.
I can get it separated.
Well, yeah.
Sure.
Well, you know, in your advanced age, we'll give you a bio on that.
What? What was that?
I said, we appreciate you very much, Dennis. Thank you. So I'll let Dennis do his presentation on this. It's very, very interesting.
Well, basically, I mean, what we're looking at is the example I used there at the top was what I was trying to describe a while ago as far as market price and your delivered price. I'll run through that real quick one more time. At that top, it starts at market price. We're currently in a $2.50 market. So if you had a $1.50 delivery charge, gives you all in delivered cost of gas of $4. Your O&M margin, we're talking $2.62. So your rate for that month would be $6.62. That is almost exactly what your current rate is today. So if we can stay in a $2 market, there's not going to be much change. But I threw in right now, we're in a 12, if you look at the 12-month strip, right now it's averaging about $3.40 for the next 12 months, 12-month average. So if we hit the 12-month average at $3.40 and did the same math, that rate would adjust to $7.52. Kind of gives you a concept of what we're talking about there. What Ronnie's referring to, Mr. Mayor, anyway, I've got to be politically correct in this room, but what the mayor is referring to, that bottom section as far as fuel source, If you look at this per MMBTU, that is 1 million BTUs, it takes 1 decatherm of natural gas to equal 1 million BTUs. So you're getting your natural gas 1 million BTUs for those prices I just indicated, $6, $7.50, whichever one you want to land on. To get the same BTU output from propane, it takes 11 gallons of propane to equal 1 million BTUs. So whatever you can buy your propane for, I threw in a $2 number because that's a pretty good average price right now. That same BTU output for propane would cost you $22 per million BTUs versus $6 to $7 we're talking on natural gas. Now the electric side, it takes 293 kilowatt hours to equal 1 million BTU. At Monroe City's current residential rate of 14 cents, that converts out to $41.02 per million BTU. Just so you can convert your different energy sources.
Very interesting. If you were heating a building and you needed 1 million BTUs, it cost you $7.52 for natural gas. It cost you $22 if you had propane. It cost you $41 if you're all electric. That's some crazy numbers, man.
I've always heard years ago in my younger days, in my early days of this career, the most efficient way to look at utility use in your home, your business, if you've got to heat, you heat with fire, you light with water. And if you use that philosophy, you'll never go wrong, because that's the most efficient way to basically maintain your heating source or lighting source in your home or business. Heat with fire, light with water.
So we're going to put together a rate sheet. It will explain all these things we've talked about in some detail, if the board tells us to, I guess. I don't think we've got a whole lot of choices in front of us. It's very difficult to imagine any scenario where you're going to plan to lose $290,000 and not do something about it. Because we can't do it. Next year we'll be broke. The 3 utilities that are losing money, if we don't do something, are going to cost us almost $700,000 in the red next year if we don't do something. And I can't change it. I mean, we have no control over what we pay for these services. So we'll put something together and have it ready for the board review next time we get together for our next board meeting. So, anybody have any questions before I move on? All right.
Thank you for your time.
Dennis, thank you for all your help. We appreciate it very much. Have a safe trip.
Thank you.
That wasn't helpful.
See you.
He's a good guy. So, okay. Next thing we're going to talk about is citywide cleanup. It's getting close to the time to do that. I think we want to do that a little early this year. My thought process was do it ahead of the July 4th celebration as quickly, as far ahead as we can do it. We can make it happen. So, a couple things I want to talk about. But before we talk about the actual cost of the containers, dumpsters, I guess you call them, I want to talk about the program itself. Each year that I've been up here, we've done this. We've had annual spring cleanup. We put the dumpsters out. Kevin knows more about this probably than anybody does, as well as Rodney. But man, oh man, do they fill up quick. And I'd like to do something a little bit different this year. What I propose is that we block off that rear entrance. I'd like to block it off permanently because the people speeding through there when it's not a street. I'll block it off permanently. But we block that off. We put up the orange fencing around the other entrances, except for the main entrance up there by the very beginning of the building, comes right off that street. Anyway, have the dumpsters in there 2 at a time. I'd like to get 8 total. this year, because I think we're putting a big push on a lot of people to clean up their yards and areas, and this would be a good opportunity to do that. But what I would like to do is I'd like to very much, if it's at all possible, to limit the use of those dumpsters to actual residents of the city of Monroe City. I have no way to prove what I'm getting ready to suggest happens, but I believe that there are people who are taking advantage of that who are not residents of the city of Monroe City, Missouri. And since it's their dollars we're spending, I think we ought to do something about that. So I propose blocking that whole city barn lot area off except for the main entrance there. And after 4:30 or whatever hours you all come up with, we'll drive one of the big loaders in there and put it in there sideways so they can't get in there at night. And I thought about suggesting that we take a summer help person during the weekdays and have them stand there at the entrance and ask people for proof of residency, which would either be a copy of your utility bill, the envelope with your name and address on it, or your driver's license. I know it sounds a little wild, but I'm convinced that we have individuals, and I don't blame them, I do the same thing, but we need to limit it to as much as possible to citizens of the city of Monroe City.
A lot of cities do that.
Huh?
A lot of cities do it that way.
Then what do you think? Want to do it?
100%.
I 100% agree.
All right. So we have in front of us, and we'll get to that in a minute. We'll try to do that by a resolution, like vote on it. So what we'll do here now is take a look at these bids. Rodney, you want to come up here and talk about this at all, or?
Yeah. I'll just wait for my cue. Y'all each got one. The Big River disposal, as you can see, is $400 for each dumpster, up to 3 tons, and $75 a ton after that. So, and I asked over the Tamar, Mandy, last year, all 6 dumpsters shade under 4 tons.
Okay.
Because I knew that'd be critical. She said every one of them was just right under 4 tons. So if, $475, that gets you 4 ton or $550. I called them. Sutton Disposal was $575, and there's no limit. I called them back. There's no limit on the poundage or nothing. But like he said, if you're not putting in concrete or something, residential stuff, it's probably going to be like we had last year, around 4 tons.
Where's Sutton out of?
Hannibal. I really never
Big
heard
River
of
comes
them.
out of Hannibal.
I just needed another bid and I found them, like, oh, they's real nice. So out of Hannibal, and of course Big River, I've seen their dumpsters around town. When we did the park, that's what they had. They had one of them.
Okay.
Big. Anyway, I called Merkel's, of course, that's where we usually get them. $695, and that's up to 5 ton, which that's quite a bit. But last year I asked her, and we paid around $670. So that was the bids, and they just all of them need about a week's notice, of course, and bring them in like they usually do.
Is there some reason we wouldn't go with the lowest bid?
Well, I know Merkel's ever since I've been here, Kevin. I don't know, maybe y'all had somebody else, but Merkel's had it. But this Big River, I see a lot of dumpsters in town. So
What size dumpsters would you go out to bid for?
20 yards,
See that?
and I asked them if they had the short
What
ones.
are you thinking?
They fill up quick, that's why. A few years ago, we get the big ones, 40 yards.
And-
You had trouble throwing the stuff over.
Yeah.
Well, they got 20
And they
yards.
got a door that you can
The
open
tall
and
ones.
throw it in.
But anyway, I said, you got the short ones? He said, yeah, throw stuff in. But 20 yards, just same as last year.
Yeah.
But he makes a good point. The 40, well, they all have a door, don't they?
Yeah.
But the 40s have a door, and if we're watching it, if we had the door open where they could just walk in and dump it versus trying to get on a ladder or something.
I know they're gonna cost more, but Like
Well,
I
he
said,
said
2 years
the
ago, that's
price
what we
wasn't
got.
that
Well,
much
the
more.
20 yard for the tall and the short, I told him we'd like to have the
Oh,
short
the-
side to throw over. So he said basically the same price. Now, the 40 yards, yeah, it's gonna cost you more.
But,
I didn't ask him how much.
Oh, okay, okay.
So-
I didn't realize you said there was a tall, I didn't realize there was a tall and a short.
Yeah, there's tall and.
20 yards is about 3 foot tall, and the 40 yards is about 5 foot tall.
But she,
Right.
at Big River, they had the tall ones. She said tall ones at 20 yards or the short ones.
Or, okay,
Probably stretch
That's
out,
and they're the same price.
basically the same.
You can still.
Because it don't
push
take
that
long to
whole
fill 'em up.
with the
I know.
bucket and stuff.
I have to use back probably.
I was just saying, it don't take long to fill them up.
Wait.
They filled them up in a
For
couple hours
residential.
last time we did it.
If they do it, yeah, I'm sure like the short ones, they throw it in. But, you
How
know,
many
What if we
dumpsters
had
did
the-
we get last year? Did we get 8?
6.
We got
We
six.
got 6 last
Yeah,
year.
Six
by
by
20
20
yards.
yards
Three
short.
changed out twice. We had
Yeah.
6 that had about 4 ton for each one
Yes.
that we got rid of.
Yes.
So we're talking about increasing to 8,
I would like to.
right?
Cause I could almost fill up one with the junk on the lot. We got a pile, half of the dumpster anyway.
So should we get prices for the 40 yards?
No. We can, but we didn't. Is that what you're
No,
asking?
I said, should we?
Well, we're gonna wait be another 2 weeks. We'll
That's,
wait.
that's the thing, it would delay it.
It'll be 2 more weeks out.
I think as long as you get 8 and you're doing.
Say, as long as you add to it. I
And if
just
you
think
go
that-
with the cheaper,
eight,
you're
you're
gonna,
Just pile them on top of each other.
6
It'll
to
be-
8, you're gonna get a dumpster. I told her anywhere from 6 to 8 in a 2 week period is what I told her. Sometime in June.
Y'all have been around when we got tires.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's why we were watching.
Ain't no
Talking about
smash.
mess.
What's the cost to get rid of tires these days?
It's
We
all
quit doing it.
$5 a piece?
Yeah.
I'll
And
probably-
another thing on your fencing, the entrances is easy to fence, but that lot is flat to the creek, so you're gonna have to really stretch her out or they'll just zip-dee-doo right around.
Well, we'll work on that.
So,
We'll figure something out. It's just that
yeah, I know what you're saying.
you come in there the next morning and not only full, there's crap all over the ground.
Yeah.
And we gotta go over and clean it up.
That happens every year.
Yeah.
I know.
I think we're gonna try to do something to stop it.
You
Let's
stomp
get
it
rid
down,
of
it all falls out. But that's the prices I got. All of them was wrong.
Do we wanna, if we have to give them a week's notice,
Yeah,
we have to give them a week's notice, where does that put us at?
I told them sometime in June we was looking at.
Huh?
I told them all us, we was looking to do this sometime in June.
1st of June, probably.
That's 10 days.
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna need a little time to tell people, so I'd do it like second.
Well, if you come back with the 40-yard bids for the June 4th meeting, and then we let them know on June 5th, they need a week's notice, could they deliver on that week of June 15th?
Yeah, that sounds good. Let's plan for the week of June 15th. Do you want him to go get bids for the
Is
40s?
there an advantage over using this?
Because here's the thing of it, I got $4,000 in sanitation department budget. Okay, so I can get 8 of these,
20 yards.
20 yards. If you use the cheapest bid, we can get 8 of those, that'd be 3,200. You could actually do 10.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Up to.
And well, I like Kevin's idea. Do 10, spend the $4,000, and maybe next time we'll take a look at the bigger ones. But
Yeah.
10.
I would do 10, be done with it this year, set the date.
Yep,
I know we
Yeah,
did
and-
6
and-
last year, we was done in a week.
sir,
We was done in a week.
yeah.
But it wasn't.
we'll be
it
done in a
wasn't-
week. We'll be done in a week again this time too.
Yeah.
Maybe if we control who can
That
come
was
in and
6.
come out.
But we need to, because last year some people were upset because we advertised it for 2 weeks and they were gone after a week.
Well,
So
we can
it's
change
not
our
up to
advertising.
two
We just
What?
say up
Change
to.
that.
Yeah, until they're full. We just have to change when we have.
Yeah,
Well, we had it until they're full, but we need to not make it 2 weeks.
don't put a date or
Yeah.
starting, put
Yeah.
starting
Yeah.
until they're all
No,
used.
Is there any way those would fit inside the bays overnight,
that was talked about, but
just to keep people from?
that was talked
I
about.
don't think you want them in there,
It's more
because
tricky.
you don't know what you're gonna find in there.
Yeah, maybe a rat in there.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good point.
trying to push him in, line him up, push him.
Which one you want?
Oil rundown.
Which ones you want?
I would say, you know, I like Merkel's a lot because they're real good, but Big River, I mean, that's $400.
That's a big difference in
That's
price.
where I go, and I see a lot of their dumpsters.
$200,
I mean, I think you can, I did the math earlier.
Tonnage wise,
I
it
mean-
looks like Big River is about 133.
Yeah, I
And
think
Merkel's is 139.
that's close. That's why I asked her, and she said every one of them last year was right under 4 ton. I thought, well, that'd be good to go by, so.
So you're looking at like 475 for dumpster.
Right, right. Yeah. 475 versus that, I figure he's saving enough and get a
Well-
dumpster or two free.
And what about not having them there over the weekend?
Well,
That's hard because
that's
some
gonna be
people are
hard,
gonna be
'cause they're not
able to
gonna
use
get
that.
it.
That's true.
they're not gonna wanna come on it.
I mean, most people that work off from 8 to 5
Yeah.
can't come dump their stuff from 8 to 5.
That's when they dump it on the weekends.
But if we're, got the lot closed,
How are we gonna handle that?
I guarantee you, they'll find a way to get in. I don't care what
I
you tell
know.
them.
They'll dump it in front of the fence.
Maybe someone in the street department can adjust their schedule.
Or you know what they'll
Work
do.
Saturday.
you know.
Or you-
you wanna do a.
if you got-
What are you gonna do, drag it through the,
I don't know, is that what they do?
Oh, yeah, you'll get over
If you block it off, they'll put it right by where you block it off.
Oh,
Fence or
okay.
whatever.
put some cameras up, and go after them.
How much are
Just
littering
have to
tickets?
check
It's somewhat
How much are littering
Patrol it
tickets?
a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
You want Big River?
Yes.
Lifeguard volunteers?
Yeah, I bet you they would.
you
They were
thinking
going
10?
anyway.
Yep.
We'll
I'm
try.
gonna make a motion.
Go for it.
I'm gonna make a motion, we take a bit of Big River disposal up to 10 dumpsters.
Second.
We have a motion second on the floor to get up to 10 units or dumpsters from Big River Disposal at $400 each. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, say nay. Motion, ayes have, the motion carries.
Did we decide on a date?
Yeah, I'll need that to just.
Yeah, the date you,
Okay,
June 15th, is that what we said?
we want to plan on June, what,
June 15th is what they were.
June 15th?
Do you want to go out that far? That way we would have
Yeah,
plenty of time
June
to let
15th
To
everyone
tell
know.
people, yeah.
June 15th until they're full.
Yeah. Until.
Yeah, don't even give an end date.
No.
Okay,
Yeah,
that works.
yeah.
All right,
I'll work with Rodney and see what we can come up with to try to secure that area.
I'll, let them know and I'll give them plenty of time to get the
Right.
dumpster.
I like it, I like it, I like it a lot. That's good,
That's
that's
awesome.
good.
Cool.
Okay,
Thank you.
Okay, moving right along to committee reports, planning and zoning, nothing. Parks and Recreation,
They didn't have a meeting.
did you have some, did you have a communication from Matt? On the gravel, out the swimming pool?
On
No.
what?
Oh, you didn't get it? Who got it? I got
Me and
it.
you.
You and
Me and
I?
you got it.
Okay,
I didn't get it.
Matt requested we'd get some, put some gravel, at the end of the sidewalk?
Yeah, where the mud is.
Huh?
Yes, where some kind of mud.
Okay, well, the only concern I have with that is I don't know if we are allowed to do that. We maintain the swimming pool, would that be considered part of the swimming pool?
Mhm.
You think it?
Yeah. City owns that front part right there.
Okay. All right then, that's fine. Do we need to have the board approve that, or we just trying to do it?
How much are you thinking needs to go there?
Not much,
A scoop or something?
that's it.
Yeah,
Just do it. Just do it.
Just do it. You got it. Just do it. Okay.
do it to it.
So Economic Development Tax Board, I believe you have, I'll apologize, let Lori go ahead and
I
take
just passed
this.
around a recommendation, funding recommendation for, just the project is for legal fees associated with development of the Rawls County Industrial Park. You can kind of see the project overview, but up to $5,000 for legal services associated with securing a land option for the proposed Rawls County Industrial Park. So where the city-owned property adjoins, there is an individual that owns some farm ground that would need to have purchase option secured. And the lawyer would need to be involved to get that done, so that future potential economic development, that we can't really move forward doing anything else until we get the purchase option secured. So this $5,000 will allow us to move forward in that direction, so we can market that area. That's sort of a synopsis.
Well, this is something that's been talked about more than once within the last couple of years, is getting that option, because without that option, you really can't make a proposal to someone that comes in requesting information on a site that you don't have an option on. And we have about 12 acres left out at the industrial park, which is, I don't think it's large enough for some of these projects that we've looked at over the last couple of years. So my recommendation is that the board approve the request from the Economic Development Sales Tax Board.
That firm is great working with municipalities too.
Good to hear, thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve the Economic Development Sales Tax Board funding recommendation.
We have a motion on the floor to approve the recommendation from the Economic Development Sales Tax Board. It's a funding recommendation to expend up to $5,000 for legal services to,
Cunningham, Vogel, and Ross.
excuse me?
Cunningham, Vogel, and Ross.
Yes, that is who it's payable to, that is a legal matter.
Yeah.
Of course, this is the economic development sales tax money that this is coming.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second on the floor to approve the recommendation from the Economic Development Sales Tax Board for up to $5,000 to be paid to Cunningham, Vogel, and Ross PC for legal services in an effort to obtain an option for that property. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. The ayes have it, the motion carries. Anything else on economic development? You do a good job of being the representative here.
Oh,
Yes, she does.
You do.
Oh, that's
They get to escape the meeting.
Doesn't hurt that you're on the board too.
Yeah, that was from last meeting.
All right, next thing we have is administration committee.
No,
Okay, I'm going to suggest the administration committee,
set a meeting date.
well, quite frankly, I'm not sure we need to do this that way. Here's the deal, we've got to get started on the budget. We have to take the information from the audit, take the audit findings, set down those, take a look at the budget, determine what our next steps are going to be. And so typically the best way to do that is a board of the whole. So well, let's go ahead and instead of saying administration, it's administrative committee meeting. Let's talk about a meeting of the board of the whole. It'll be for budget administration, if you will, and then whatever comes from that meeting or meetings. When would be a good time for this entire board to have a working meeting to look at the budget? We'll be talking about budget amendments, budget reconciliation, and other issues relative to the budget. It won't be a good time for people. Anyone want to?
Do you have anything on the schedule for the night?
Monday night or Thursday.
9th of June. Have anything on the schedule for 9th of June?
What'd you say?
Monday night or Thursday night.
Can? The 8th? I have 8 Mondays.
Well, by the time you get to the meeting, you'll be woke up and ready to go.
Thursday night.
Basically, it's your meeting.
What's the 8th look like? The 8th of June? Do we have anything else?
What about the gentleman here? Do y'all have any issues on the 8th of June for a working meeting?
It works.
Mr. O'Brien?
Which day do you think?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's set a meeting for June 8th. What time?
6.
6, June 8th, 6 o'clock.
I'll send out an email to everybody too.
Please do. And we will have, we'll have the budget updated with the beginning balance data for fiscal 25, 26 with the data from the audit. And that'll make it as correct as it can be. Moving right along, Operations Committee.
I tried to get a meeting scheduled, but I'd like to try to schedule one now. With Monday being Memorial Day, obviously that won't work. Would the 26th or the 28th work for you guys? That's a Tuesday or a Thursday? Thursday works?
I don't want to commit next week, because my inventory's next week and it's short.
Is Greg gonna be in that same boat? No, okay.
But if it works for them, that's fine.
What day would work for you?
My next week could look like a road crash,
Okay, so
period.
if you happen to be able to, okay,
If
so,
I can come up, I will.
okay. So the 28th then, at 6? Jason, and I'll get with Greg and hopefully. And I've got some more stuff to add to. Greg, Jason.
Mike Schneider, Greg Smith, Jason Osborne, and Adrian Saunders.
Yeah,
What time did you say?
6.
All right, moving right along. Board of Adjustment. Nuisance?
We've added 10 more properties to the list last week.
Okay, good. I haven't talked to any of the members, so I'm definitely not up to speed on that. All right, any questions about the nuisance? Moving right along to department reports. We'll start out with the police department.
Nothing really to report.
Okay. Oh. Water.
Did you already talk about the enforcement?
Do it again, please. I'm sure you'll be able to add more than I was able to provide.
We had our first meeting with the enforcement officer for Department of Natural Resources today. We've been turned over to enforcement, if you don't remember, for disinfection byproducts. And that's where we're doing all the upgrades at the water plant to get back into compliance with the disinfection byproducts rule. That's why you've been, every quarter or every other quarter, you've been getting a letter from the city. But it was a very positive meeting. We are heading in the right direction. On Friday, one of the projects that we've been waiting on DNR to give us approval for, we actually got the approval. So we are now feeding permanganate here at the water plant. It really probably shouldn't affect the disinfection byproducts, but it's all just part of the process that's going to make things go smoother on the back end. There's the one thing that surprised me was, did you talk about the possibility of that fine, Mr. Mayor?
I did not talk about it because until we get further along with this, there's definitely a possibility that they would waive or suspend them. And I'm not going to go into any detail here.
Right.
It's not a very significant amount of money.
Which is great.
In my opinion.
I was just happy and going to tell everybody how happy I was. That
Now you can't tell.
Yeah, that it was only 4 digits and wasn't 6 or 7 digits.
Yeah,
so.
we were all on camera. And I must give George an attaboy for not changing his facial expression one bit.
Yeah, that's something I can't do. Kudos to you.
She could have said, something in the big numbers. I don't know if he would change his facial expression,
That's poker face, huh?
Yes, sir.
Very much, very much.
Yeah. But we are actually already using the permanganate feed at the water plant. We had everything ready to go, all we had to do was turn the pump on. So we are right now feeding less than what we were at the pump house, which is what we really were wanting to do. So
Hopefully in the long run, reduce some chemical cost.
yes, hopefully a lot. But
That would be better than some.
yeah, Cannon Water's been pulling about 175,000 gallons a day off of us.
Oh,
Yeah, they've been doing that for a week or so. Like this weekend, I ran for 24 hours. Not 24 hours continuous, but between the 2 days, it was 26 hours. But we are keeping up with it, no problem. And now the pool's full. Most of the pools in town I've been watching, we've been seeing when they've been being filling because they've been showing up as leaks. But everything's going well. Anybody have any questions about water? Thank you.
okay, moving right along, electric department.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Justin.
Hello. We were shorthanded the last couple of weeks due to Adam, our lineman, had his wife had a baby, and so he took some time off to spend with his family, which is great. Speaking of that, Braden starts next Tuesday, Braden Collins. So Adam will be back 1st of June, Braden starts, we'll be at a full crew and everything will get back to normal. I'll have one thing to bring up tonight, and that's some stuff I've brought up before. It's the digger truck repair. I have a budget amendment proposal to take a certain amount of money from capital expenditures and move it into equipment maintenance to get the repair done for the truck. As I've said in the past, the remote control is completely shot. It's unrepairable. Estimated cost $15,000 to $20,000 just to repair this device. The truck also has several hydraulic leaks that needs repairs, so I want to move $25,000 from capital expenditures to equipment maintenance to assist in this repair, and then whatever remaining stays in that pool in case something else happens.
What areas are you going to move from?
CapEx, the regular calculation.
Right, but there's several line items.
It's the pole replacement. So we got
I thought we just put that in payroll.
that was the bucket truck.
$30,000 in the payroll? Yeah.
It was from the bucket.
But it came from, we removed the bucket truck line item.
I think that's what.
Some went to transformers,
Yeah.
right? When we removed the bucket truck, some went to transformers and some went to
Yeah, some went to transformers and some went to payroll.
paper.
Well, I can tell you that I did exactly what you asked me to do, and there's no $25,000 left over.
In capital expenditures, not the plant, the other
Distribution.
distribution.
We did too. We took some out of plant, and we took some out of distribution. We'll talk about it later. I don't know where to take this. I took the $30,000 and put it into payroll. Talk tomorrow.
I got the budget right here.
Yeah.
You want to see it?
Yeah.
It doesn't show what we spent, but it shows what you adjusted.
Yeah. Let's talk tomorrow because this shows exactly what we did.
Okay.
That line, that load of poles, was originally 50,
Mm-hmm.
and we dropped that down to 20.
Uh-huh.
The transformers was 55,000. Let's get together tomorrow so we can figure this out.
All right.
That's all I have. Anybody have any questions, other questions?
So do we do anything with this if it's
Um,
okay in there? Can we approve it or what do we do?
We're gonna, if he wants to do a budget amendment, if we can do it, you have to prove it. I'm sitting here right now trying to understand what happened today, but we'll have to go back and take a closer look at it. Because when I added the numbers into the budget for electric department, we actually had another $2,345 higher than we had planned for the year, because when you add $30,000 into payroll, automatically bumps the payroll tax. So the payroll tax had to be figured in there too, so that brings up around 33,000. And when I did the calculations that I was given, I may have made a mistake. We'll look at it tomorrow. But I only seen $30,000 that was available to be moved. That's exactly what I moved into the budget and payroll for electric department.
You're right, I don't see it, the other. Oh, no, it's right
Yeah, you'll talk about tomorrow.
there. Okay.
So if he can move $25,000, we need to have a motion to make that happen.
We want to tentatively approve it as long as the
That'd be fine.
funds are
Yeah.
there.
Well, I mean, bottom line, if you're gonna do this, we'll have to take it from someplace.
Right.
You know, and
Yeah.
he'll have to be the person to decide where we can take it from. So just go ahead and do a budget amendment for $25,000 to be moved towards the bucket truck repair. Digger repair. And 25,000.
I'll make that motion.
Have a motion on the floor to approve a budget amendment of $25,000 for the electric department. We have a second.
Second.
We have a motion second on the floor to approve a $25,000 budget amendment to the electric department budget. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. The ayes have it. The motion carries. We'll get together and probably figure it out tomorrow.
Okay. Any other questions, comments? All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Justin.
Thanks, Justin.
Gas department. Street.
I'm good.
Building inspector. Airport.
We called and checked the price of fuel yesterday, and for us to buy any, it's $5.75 a gallon. We've been charging $4.90. So today, I made the decision to go ahead and raise the price to $5.75. We've got 1,985 gallons left. When we bought the fuel in July of last year, we bought 7,500 gallons at $3.82, which cost the city $28,650. We have sold 5,514 gallons of that at $4.90, which is a return of $22.52. If we sell the remaining 1,985 at $5.75, that's an additional $11,413, which would make us
What would the total be?
the total if we sell it all is $38,436.27. Then we paid $28,650 for it, which is a difference of $97.86.
Okay.
Will what we have left last us the summer, do you think?
No. No, but people, the price of fuel around the airports has gone way up. We've got people not coming out of the city and buying fuel. And now that's why I made the decision to raise it to $5.75.
We can't replace our inventory for
I
$3.90.
mean, we're selling it for what it's gonna cost us to replace it.
That's exactly what we need to do.
So, I don't wanna try to buy a full tank. We usually buy a full tanker load.
Can we share it with anybody?
Excuse me?
Can we share it with anybody?
Well, I'm gonna attempt that. And if not, and we have to buy a partial load, we still have to pay the freight for a full load. So,
What's the freight though?
I don't know, the freight has went way up because the price of the fuel for the truck to get here has went up, so they've added a surcharge on it.
Okay. You were talking about 2,000 gallons?
If we can get 2,000, I don't know if I can get that small of an amount. I may have to go 4,000.
Oh.
But, I'm gonna work on it. And I'd like to say I'd like to have approval to do it, but what I'll do is, work on it, try to find out where we can get it from. There's just 2 different places we can get it from. And, they're both very compatible.
Is one closer than the other?
Mm-hmm.
Is one closer than the other? That the delivery might.
One comes out of Kansas City off the pipeline, the truck we've been getting comes out of Texas, and the truck, believe it or not, coming out of Texas has always been cheaper than getting it off the pipeline out of Kansas City.
Okay. If I recall correctly, and I'm not going to bet on this, we budgeted for $35,000 for fuel cells, for fuel purchases, for this year. To date, we've spent $0.
Say that again now.
We budgeted $35,000
Right.
for purchasing fuel from October of 2025 through September 30th of 2026. To my knowledge, we've not made any purchases this year. If you bought 4,000 gallons, you'd be spending $23,000 plus freight. If you got 4,000 gallons. So, no one knows what's going to happen with fuel prices.
I'm hoping it's gonna go down, but you just
Well,
don't know.
me too, but we don't know. We don't know. At what point in time does he pull the trigger on buying fuel? You currently have what, how much fuel?
1,900 well, this morning, 1985, but there's been 3 or 4 planes in today.
Okay, there is a point,
How long does that last?
well, you can only go, of that amount, only so much of it's actually usable.
Yeah, we get down to 500 gallons, we gotta stop.
Yeah, it'll just,
Gotta quit pumping.
yeah.
So we've basically got, 1,400 gallons left.
Okay, how long would that last at this new price? You think?
You know, I don't know. I just
When it
don't
was
know.
$3.90, everybody was flying in here to buy it. I would too, if I was within 100 miles.
But we've got an instructor out there now, he's had 5 students today. So they burnt quite a bit of gas today in the instructor airplane, and there was another guy coming from Fulton today.
They pay the new price?
Yes, well, yes, everybody paid a new price today.
I see what you mean. Can you fit 4,000 gallons in there?
It's a 10,000 gallon tank.
Yes.
Yes.
Short answer is yes.
I make a motion that we go ahead and try to get 4,000 gallons at $5.75 or better.
I've got approval to do that then if I choose to, but I'm gonna try to find it lower for somebody to share with.
Up to, there you go.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to,
Second.
I got, okay.
Do you need that translated? Because I don't know if I can do it again.
We have a
Well,
motion on the floor to approve, purchase of up to 4,000 gallons of aviation
4,000 at
fuel.
575 gallons.
Yes.
Do we have a second? Got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Who's the second?
All opposed say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries.
Thank you, and I think,
Did you vote?
Oh, yeah.
and I'm gonna leave right now.
This
because I
being,
think-
this being a school teacher is really tough business. Go ahead.
I think Todd Hayes is gonna solo it tonight, so I wanna be sure and get him on video.
Get on out of here.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you, Dale. We
Thank you.
appreciate what you
I
do, my
appreciate
friend.
the
Thank you so
support.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was a good call. All right, next thing we've got would be Mosswood, nothing. Pool,
Nothing. Ready to roll.
Well, we are ready for the summer. It is all clean and we have all of our gardens certified. One thing I wanted to ask is Tara Foey, the girl who comes and certifies our lifeguards, was talking to me about our in-service training that is required. I don't feel comfortable doing that in-service training because I am not a lifeguard. I mean, Glenn would probably be closer to being a lifeguard, being a PE teacher, but we're both not lifeguards. She has offered to come in at $30 an hour, 2 hours a month, to come and do the in-service training, because none of our guards will work over 40 hours a week. That is what Red Cross wants, 2 hours a month for all the guards. She just comes $30 an hour, and I'm wanting to know if we can pay her that to come and do the in-service training. It would be twice a month, so it'd be like $360 total for the summer.
How much?
$360 for the whole summer.
That's like a refresher type thing.
Yes, because like when Glenn and I were there while they were doing all their training, so we had new lifeguards and then we had some recertifications, and she's excellent at what she does, and she worked with them. She even got in that freezing pool and showed them how to do those things. It was so cold. But she said, like they all did wonderful, but they need to practice it. They need to practice those skills, and if there's not someone there to show them if they're doing it right or wrong, that could be a problem. So that's what I'm asking for, is for the board to approve me to have her come in and do that.
And that was one thing Myrna recommended.
Myrna recommended in Shelbina.
In-service
Will it
training.
save us any money?
Doing the in-service trainings.
Good.
Save us points probably, I would think.
Yes,
Yeah.
because she will keep record of that and communicate that with us, but she is doing that in Shelbina as well for their pool. So it was just a thought of just keeping
We
our
need a
ducks in a
motion
row.
to
I'll make
approve
a
this.
motion.
We need a motion, I have a motion on the floor to approve $360 for pool training for the season. Do we have a second?
Second,
We have a motion second on the floor to approve $360 for pool training for the season. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. The ayes have it, the motion carries.
Perfect, thank
is
you.
there a reason why you or Glenn didn't sit in on or participate in the training as well?
Well, I am not a strong swimmer, I guess you could say. Like, I don't feel like I can't swim enough to save someone in the deep end. But let's just say that. So that's why, I am really good at managing and making sure that everyone is doing their job, and watching and stuff, but I don't feel like I could be a certified lifeguard.
Gotcha.
Ever. Him? I don't know.
Ever.
Ever.
Ever's
I
a
still have to
long
hold my
time.
nose, so that's where we're at. But I do feel
Appreciate
confident
honesty.
in the fact that I can make sure that everyone is safe. Like, making sure that we're doing what we're doing. I learned a lot last summer, and so there are going to be some changes, and I met with all the guards, and I told the ones that are returning, I said, okay, this is what happened last summer. This is not going to happen this summer. If you have a problem with that, let me know now, because there are a whole list of kids that want to work here. So, anyway.
That was just a curiosity thing more than anything.
Yeah, no, I did, like, Jeff from Myrna asked me that last year too, and I was like, no. Now, I don't know about Glenn. I don't know. He's a PE teacher, he's a coach, he's a lot more athletic than I am. So,
Does he swim? Okay.
yeah, I'm pretty sure he's a swimmer, but I don't know if that would be something he would be willing to do. But we did have a discussion about how we're kind of, after being at the pool this week and all of the things that we've done, the cleaning, the what have you, we kind of decided that we're kind of in this for the long haul, as long as you guys will let us, and talking about the painting that needs to be done in the fall when we close the pool and things like that. Like, we want to make sure that stuff, doesn't fall through the cracks, because if we don't keep it up and good, it's just going to cost the city more money.
It's gonna cost more in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So,
I actually look for you all to have more lifeguards apply as the gas prices go up.
mm-hmm.
The ones that work out at the landing won't be able to afford to drive to the landing.
Mm-hmm. And I have 15 this year, which is looking at the schedule, they're at least getting 7 days in the 2-week pay period. So it's not getting anyone over a lot of hours, but they are still getting good hours. So,
Thank you.
Uh-huh, yep. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Okay, next thing we have on the agenda will be presentation of bills and approval of payments under tab 12.
On the Brightspeed, I don't know why they're still billing us for it. Here's the email where they showed they disconnected it on March 30th. Uh-oh. Yeah, and then so after I called it, but supposedly they disconnected it back on March 30th. So hopefully they can maybe even refund some of it.
That's okay,
Water
so
plant?
that's something we have to do, we have to contact them? Okay.
We still have Brightspeed at the water plant, and I'm actually using it because Mark Twain has been so horrible.
Oh, this is news to me.
It's the rainstorms recently and the wind. So, yeah, I've switched back to the Brightspeed, just because it was still there.
Right.
But, yeah, there were days that we had to use the other internet because Mark Twain just, in the heavy rains and the winds, it is not holding up.
So we need to look at either something different or a backup. Because that's $150 a month.
It's fine, right?
No, the Brightspeed is.
No, and Mark Twain by,
65.
yeah, Mark Twain's satellite.
Oh,
No, it's point-to-point wireless. So it's pointing at a tower 20 miles away.
okay.
Satellite would be 1,000,000 miles away.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, but just a little bit of wind movement on that, and it gets out of alignment or something, and it'll come back, but we were out for a couple days.
Have you called them?
Yeah, we called them, and they said they'd look into it, and nobody ever showed up, but then it came back.
Okay, we'll look into some sort of backup for that. Or if we could get that down, because they're charging you for a phone that you're not even using too. I'm glad they didn't actually disconnect it then.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll look into that.
Internet only,
That's-
an internet only plan
Yeah.
versus phone plus internet?
Right, the Brightspeed does have that, but that's not what they're charging us right now for. They're charging us for a phone line and a DSL.
So, okay, so
Yeah,
see what it looks like if you just get rid of the,
Right.
get rid of the phone line and do internet only, and see how that compares to the other service. I think what's interesting here is we would really have to ask Mark Twain why it's not stable, repeatable, consistent,
yeah, with
reliable.
that short.
Because
that
out
short
there, it
distance.
really has to be reliable.
Yeah. I'll have to ask Dell if you talked to Dell, has he had any
I have not.
similar problem? He hadn't said anything, but then again, he's not out there like you guys are, I guess. Yeah, and we need to set it up to where it's seamless too. That's the other thing, so I'll look into that.
All right. Okay, so back to the original issue, presentation of bills and approval of payments.
What about the 3,400 for Miko? What's that?
The Nico one?
I'm sorry, how much is it?
3,400 for a substation.
That's
electrical upgrade. Is that
for-
part of what we?
That's part of
During
the,
third and the fourth payments. Is that right?
that is for the PER on the electric distribution.
Okay. So that's-
Did I say that right? Is that full payment or is it the third one?
Yeah, this is partial pay for the PER. After this payment of this one, it completes 90% of the project. So there'll still be about 10% left to pay on the PER.
Something we're gonna have to do is get our heads together and have a discussion about that. I can't do it here because it's not on the agenda, but we're gonna have to have a discussion about how we're gonna proceed with that PER. Drive shaft.
Everyone else has had a chance to review.
You break it. Drive shaft, you break it.
No, that's your right jack. Took the wheel off and the drive shaft. Two different pieces of equipment.
Second.
We have a motion second on the floor to approve bills payable. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries. Unfinished business. Nothing on the agenda. Boy, this is a doozy. Closed session. The tentative agenda of this meeting includes a vote to close part of this meeting pursuant to RSMO 610.021. 2, leasing, purchase, or sale of real estate by a public governmental body where public knowledge of the transaction might adversely affect the legal consideration. Therefore, however, any minutes, vote, or public record approving a contract related to the leasing, purchase, or sale of real estate by a public government shall be made public upon execution of the lease, purchase, or sale of the real estate. Number 3, hiring, firing, disciplining, or promoting of particular employees by a public governmental body when personal information about the employees discussed or recorded. By poll or voice. Somebody gotta make a motion
I'll make
first.
that motion.
Second.
With a motion and a second on the floor to go into closed session.
Alderman Schneider,
Yes.
Alderman O'Brien,
Yes.
Alderman Osborne,
Yes.
Alderman Saunders,
Yes.
Alderman Quinn. Yes.
And it's all the same to you all, just seem to stay right here.
Yes.
Alderman Quinn,
Yes.
Alderman Schneider,
Yes.
Alderman O'Brien,
Yeah.
Alderman Osborne. When we all passed our budget, I know everyone wanted all the departments to be aware of their budgets and to keep a close eye on their budgets. We discussed how each department would sign off on their invoices, how they would also allocate where they want their money to come from on their funds for their budget. So they could keep an eye on their expenses. Y'all remember that discussion? Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to, well, sorry, Obi, yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah, but that was one of the things that they put in place when we passed the budget. They just wanted all the departments to be aware of each of their budgets. When we went to BSNA, of course, we trained all the department heads on how to approve their invoices on the computer, and everything like that, and they've all done it to a point. We've got some invoices that aren't getting approved in a timely fashion, and I don't know what we need to do to move forward with that. When emails are sent out, I mean, we send them to all departments. We're not singling out any department for this at all. But no action happens with those invoices. And we've also ran into this issue regarding approving payroll for each department. That was another thing you all agreed on because, again, everyone wanted the departments to be aware of what their employees, of what their team was working, how many had and so forth. Kind of getting some delays on that too. Cindy, we've sent out many reminders, you know, kind of just giving them a heads up that, you know, Monday is the day we need your time cards. And Cindy always used to do payroll on Mondays. That was her schedule, to do payroll on Mondays. But she's adjusted her schedule, and she will get all the leave slips in, all the missed punches, everything like that. And she'll enter all that, and then she'll send everything back out to each department, letting them know that they need to approve their department's payroll. And they need it, she needs it by 9 o'clock Tuesday. So she gives a whole nother day for them to get that approved and back to her. We're seeing where that's not happening. I don't want to not pay the employees. However, that was something you all wanted to take place too.
The accountability side of it.
Yes, it was a lot of the
Yeah.
accountability, yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Are there late fees? So what are you doing with the invoicing?
Well, this most recent time, checks were issued, but they did not include that department's amounts. So
there's
there
gonna be
could
late
be
fees,
penalties added, maybe, I don't know.
possibly.
Uh-huh.
If there's penalties, need to come out of their budget.
Yeah, I mean, are we at risk of services being disconnected over it, though?
No, we would not,
Get
you know, let
that
that
done.
happen, but then
Yeah.
again,
And
it's
that's
very,
also giving them permission to go around the department. If that department is not responding, then do we go around? Do they go around it and just pay the bills to prevent them from having the late fees, or just let them sit?
Well,
we've thought of that as well.
you have a kind of a situation here that's a little bit unique. The department that we're having, the issue with is not exactly under our control.
We don't want to approve anything and misallocate those funds for that
Right.
department. I
Because
don't,
who's to say it's a legitimate invoice? I mean, people could send us a random invoice, and if we don't know if it's legit for their department, and we pay it, and later they come back and say, what's this?
I mean, I would think that if it's gonna be expensed against their budget, they should know that they have to, yes, they need to approve it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be sarcastic here, please don't take it, what do y'all suggest we do?
So your routine is like you send them out, ask for maybe whatever marks by the next day, I don't know how the
correct,
software
yeah,
works or
Cindy sends
whatever.
them out,
Or do you send a?
with plenty of notice.
I'm sure you send a reminder, maybe.
Absolutely.
We send out a
What time do you
reminder.
quit
We've got,
maybe?
yeah.
they've
Like,
got email after email after email that's been unanswered.
for instance, this last Friday, she sent a reminder out to all the departments, letting them know, you know, Monday is payroll, I will need all the missed punches, time off requests, all that stuff. And then I'll shoot everything back to you for your approval, and I'll need that by 9 a.m. Tuesday.
So do you draft a letter signed by the Board of Aldermen, directing that department manager to do what you ask them? What do you want to do?
Yeah, then I think, is there any way, I don't know what kind of turnaround time, but like, I have no idea, but is there like a report where they can know, like, if they're PC, if they're not, probably not, I don't know.
Well, we don't, and
You
we're
know
not
what I
getting
mean? Like,
any
would it-
response
I mean,
of any
anything for
type.
them to know that like, the board also understands that you're not, I'm trying to relate it
I know.
like to, like, we do this at the bank. So at the bank, we have 5 branches, your invoices go out to each branch.
Right.
You have to approve them.
Yeah.
I don't even know what happens if you don't approve them, because we just approve them, like, I don't know. But I think if anyone, what's the next step to make them?
I don't know, Wednesday, was it Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday.
What do you guys say?
Well, I apologize. I walked in your office and you had Cindy come in and you asked me, what do we do, not pay them? I said, I don't know.
We can't approve them if we don't know what they are.
Well, she was saying not pay payroll. And I said, if we don't pay the police department payroll, they're gonna be pissed.
Then they'll sign off on it.
Well, it's one way to get their attention, but, I mean, is it?
The only department that's not doing their job is the police department. And what do you wanna do about it? We've sent emails, we've called, we've left messages. I don't even know if the chief is on, I don't know anything about him. He was gonna have some things, I think, going on. It was gonna put him off for a while, but I'm not aware of any of those details. I'm not sure that I should be, but I think if he's gonna, be putting somebody else, in charge of the department, he should at least notify the Board of Aldermen.
And there is an option where, we can, add anyone from that department to approve the invoices or to approve payroll if that department wants to do that.
Well, I think that's the next step then. I think that's the next step. If we we say, hey, who, in addition to yourself.
For backup,
Yeah.
for each department.
Yep.
That's not a bad idea, I guess.
Yeah,
And
Yeah, I
then they
think-
have
I
to
think-
go to get it done, and
I like that. I like
if
that.
it wasn't, get one done,
We-
not
we
getting
do
paid,
that
wasn't
for-
like paying attention.
Do that for each department, and send it out that way. That that the Board of Aldermen formally request each department head to assign a backup to approve payroll and or invoices. What do you think?
Put that in a motion form?
Yeah, we sure do.
yeah.
Need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
We need a motion, so how would that sound? Did you
To
write all that
assign
down?
a backup. Okay.
So the Board of Aldermen formally request. I don't
And
want to
if
say
you
what
don't
I'm
provide
thinking
one
out
and
loud.
it's not approved, these are your next steps for repercussions there. I don't know what.
Oh, well, Lori, Alderman Quinn, I apologize, Alderman Quinn, what should happen is if the department manager or the assigned backup doesn't approve payroll, you don't get paid.
Right.
And if he or she doesn't approve invoices, they don't get paid. And if that means that a vendor decides not to sell them stuff in the future, so be it. There's gotta be
Any late fees or
consequences.
charges come out of their department.
Yeah,
Any late fees or charges incurred because of lack of payment.
because
if
they didn't approve it.
approve them, will come directly out of their budget, that department's budget.
There you go.
We're got a lot of talk,
Got a
but
lot of
yeah.
discussion.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor to send a communication to each department head that the Board of Aldermen formally requests that they assign a backup person to approve payroll and invoices.
Now, question, if you're sending this to the person that's not responding to your first email,
We're gonna send it to everybody.
okay.
Yeah, it's gonna go to all departments
Okay.
because
So that, I'm just,
That
no, I'm just
way-
saying that if it goes, for example, to the one department head that isn't
Available.
available or responding, is
Yeah.
that next? Do you
Will they
need,
see it, but next?
will they see it? Will the next person know? Like,
Well,
does it need to
if
be?
you want us to, we can put it in letters and send them letters.
Why can't we just send it out to everybody? Because
would.
if I
That's
were
what
an
we're gonna
employee
do.
of that department,
That's
I
what we're
would
gonna
wanna
do.
make sure my supervisor knew so I could get paid.
You mean send it to everybody on the
All
mailing
land
list?
Send-
users.
Just send them to everybody.
Okay. I
To
like
every
that.
employee
And
with an
that way,
email.
no one
Every
can
employee.
say, he can't say, well, I wasn't. whoever
wasn't- yeah, they
couldn't
can't say
say,
I
"Oh, I
It
wasn't
can
working."
be addressed to each department head by name.
Carbon
Copy
copy.
everybody else.
Yeah,
And say, I don't know how you word that, but it,
Yeah, she'll figure it out.
somehow.
The Board of Aldermen formal request.
It could, yeah, just keep up with what he said, the Board of Aldermen formally request that they designate a backup for each department to sign off on the payroll and invoices.
Okay.
And that way, that's a full transparency. If there's,
That's
And
what we
you
can
could
do.
even add like, and if invoices or payroll is not approved, they will not be paid.
Do it,
I mean,
do it.
we
period.
can change that.
Board-
on our
So
own.
says the board. So we have a
It
motion.
can only take one time.
She made the motion, I'll second
We have a
it.
motion second on the floor to approve sending a formal request to all department heads to assign a backup for approving payroll and invoices. All in favor?
No, it's going to all mail.
All
All
employees, all
Oh, yeah,
employees.
you handle where you said it.
Yeah.
That
That way, they can, if someone in some department knows that some person is reading it, and
You
they
got all
might not
that?
get paid,
You got all
others
that?
have the right to.
Yeah, let's see here, I wrote several different things. Sorry. Make a motion, for the Board of Aldermen formally request each department to assign a backup,
Approver, or
Approver.
backup,
for
whatever.
For payroll and
an
invoices.
alternate.
Oh, an
Alternative.
authorized
An
backup,
alternate
Yeah.
For signing
To
and
approve.
approving payroll and invoices.
right.
Okay.
And then really simple, unapproved payroll, unapproved invoices will not be paid.
Will-
Will not be paid. Unapproved payroll, unapproved invoices will not be paid.
Is that your motion,
Mhm.
Lori?
I think so. Now, before you actually don't do that, you might let us know you're not gonna pay the employees, so we can go.
Well, and in all fairness,
Yeah, I guess the
I feel
president of the board
terrible
is
about
calling.
not paying somebody, but.
well, in all fairness, if it's a small group, because technically there's gonna be some complications with having this person approving this person's overtime that
Well, when it comes
it
to
could be
that,
another supervisor, or it could be you all, it could be,
well, I know like our department, I never approved my timesheet, of course. I've never approved anything to do with me, like time off slips, all that, of course it goes to mayor. So Cindy would fill in. I do Cindy's, of course, and we just figured that out. I mean, we do not sign off on our own time
Yeah, that's not,
cards or slips.
smart. Thank you.
yeah.
What else do you need from us?
We have a motion and a second on the floor to approve the board's formal request. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. The ayes have it, the motion carries. I think it's a very good way to start this process.
Yeah.
It's not pointing fingers at anybody, it's everybody. And hopefully that will solve the issue and we won't have to come back and visit this again.
What do you say as a past department head about that?
Huh?
I think we're being, do you think that, what do you say, like?
my question is, we mentioned the police department. Did this just start happening or after their secretary's been gone?
I didn't identify a department at all when I said.
No, I'm just saying.
I'm not identifying any department.
No, I mean,
I'm speaking as a whole.
right, but I'm just,
The mayor did
Yeah.
indicate that the police department.
that was my
being
question,
the worst
if
of
the police were
compliance.
How long has it been happening?
Well, we
For
have.
as long as I've been here.
For a while.
This isn't new.
Yeah, it's not a new issue.
okay, that was my question.
Yeah, well, here's the thing of it, no one's asked to replace her. And I had a talk with, the chief of police, with,
Do we wanna
city
adjourn?
attorney.
Do we
Well,
wanna-
no, we're still on record, sorry.
Yeah.
All right. What?
We're still
We're still on record.
Yeah, we're still on record.
Go ahead.
No other police department has a secretary that submits, information for, cases or arrests. Officers do it. We're the only one that does that. We're the only one police department that has the secretary submit, information.
All right, motion to adjourn?
Yep.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Third.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.